Straight to extra cover, no run.
Well, good to see Logan van Beek's name up there. He has had an unbelievable 6 weeks for the Netherlands, single-handedly. It's got them to that World Cup in India. Power play, what a power play against the West Indies.
Extraordinary, wasn't it? Cries of catch it, that's high, should be taken. Settling underneath it. Well taken, good catch, his second catch. Lamachani strikes again, he's creeping up to the highest wicket taker in the career of the Gt20.
Oman going against the spin, taking on the sizable boundary. It's Jatinder Singh who's out in the deep, the Oman opening batter. Customary shades, customary celebration a la Shikhar Dhawan. Big wicket. Sandeep once again strikes as he so often does. Oman's got to go for 16. Nationals 71 for 4.
16 wickets now for Lamachani in his career in the Gt20.
Yeah, leg spinner, beautiful seam presentation, toe of the bat. He knows right there, he hasn't got anywhere near the middle of the blade. Simply pouched. Jatinder Singh, really talented cricketer from Oman. Lovely opening batter, always safe in the field, good character.
Got a bit of flair about him. Always good to see that. Second catch that he's taken.
Remarkable difference in stats for Sandeep, right hand versus left hand in this tournament.
Oh, he's got him! That is a beauty! What a magnificent delivery that is! Outstanding from Lamachani. He's got rid of the dangerous Munro.
Back-to-back wickets. Sandeep, your go-to gun leg spinner. Your match winner. This is a wonderful bit of leg spin bowling. The matchup says Munro should take the leggy down. He pushes it through. Lovely turn. Munro absolutely beaten. All ends up. Sandeep turns this game on its head. Munro's got to go. Played well for his four.
He unfortunately had a bad start. A couple of wides, then one sliding down the leg side. He also wasn't helped by some indifferent fielding, which penalised the side as well. Some boundaries were scored early, was brisk, and they're away going at 10 and over for the Jaguars until that catch was superbly taken by JJ Smith. And suddenly Hales was still there and he needed to kick on and score some runs. But that's what happened to Hales. He was suddenly on his way, and it was a really good performance with the spin to get into the game and make a bit of a difference.
But they started really well. 3 batters got into double figures and they all lost their wicket. And again there, Litton Das getting out, trying to play the reverse sweep. A bit of pressure on him, but there were 3 dot balls in that over. And then we've seen some poor fielding throughout this innings, but still the bowlers did the job for the side. They managed to contend the Jaguars for just 141 of 18 overs. Some brilliant batting at the end by Iftikhar Ahmed and Matthew Ford, and they managed to take the team to a decent total of 141.
Yeah, they came back into the game quite nicely, the Toronto Nationals. Suddenly got that run rate from 10 down to about 6.5. But then they just got away a little bit towards the death, which pushed it further up. Boundaries was the name of the game. This was an interesting one where Colin Munro didn't actually pick it up, and it went for 6 just over his head. But there was still plenty to go. A couple of these short balls were put away by Iftikhar, and he was looking to swing from the hip.
Yeah, he was just getting a little tickle to the wicketkeeper, and then final delivery was a brilliant slower delivery and a great work from the wicketkeeper to get the ball hit.
So some of the highlights, we saw the start of Spencer in the lineup, so that was a nice welcome addition for the Jaguars, and he started to swing the ball quite nice. A couple of boundaries off him, importantly for Munro, just to sort of get things back on track. And the first wicket went down. It was Singh who was in the attack, in the catching with Ford in the attack again. It wasn't long before he struck for the second time.
He did a good job with Matthew Ford. Nice and straight. There wasn't too many boundaries around this time. That one was clocked to mid-on, and all of a sudden they were 3 down in that first power play. Munro said, I'm going to go on the attack. We know what a destructive player he is. And he did that. All of a sudden, there's just a little bit of a partnership developing. Rabashane came in, Munro put him 10 rows back-to-back boundaries, and all of a sudden the Toronto's Toronto Nationals were looking good, and then Labuschagne got a couple of key wickets just to grab the momentum off the men in blue.
And Gt20 Singh also getting another catch. That was Labuschagne again, and that was the beauty. To get rid of Munro. A little tilt to the head for Munro as he departed. Just acknowledgement, I think, of how good that delivery was. But then the wicket started to fall. That wasn't great for him. Ashraf just picking out Hayliger off the bowling of Ford. Not great out cricket. From that moment on, it was a bit of catch-up. It was J.J. Smith who hit a couple of boundaries. He was the one that had to do most of the work. He's had a partner who couldn't move too well. And Smith is a big hitter and made the most of it.
He played nicely, didn't he? Nice to spend some time in the middle and find the middle of the bat. That was his dismissal. Nice catch by Ford, who was busy. And then that one straight through Zafar, who intimated that perhaps it stayed a bit low. It didn't. It hit top of middle. And then Afridi. We've got a couple out the middle. We've been struggling with the leg injury. And he banged a couple out of the ground before he holed out to deep mid-wicket. And that was the end, really, for the Toronto Nationals.